Welcome to the Wednesday Match Play, your weekly connection to the biggest and best brands in golf. On this show you will learn more about the latest golf fashion trends, hear from LPGA and PGA Tour players, get advice on planning your next golf getaway, and much more. Broadcasting live from Palm Desert, California, now on the tee, Ricky Potts.
For more than 4 decades, Heritage Creations has helped the nation's most distinguished clubs honor their legacy and elevate the member experience. Heritage creates innovative awards for signature events and custom pieces that reflect each club's unique identity. From complete clubhouse transformations to experiential environments and Heritage interactive touchscreens, every solution is designed to inspire, engage, and endure. Heritage Creations is a proud sponsor of the PGA of America and the California and Florida chapters of CMAA.
Delarman is a technology services company focused on helping businesses improve operations through managed IT solutions, consulting, and technology support. With more than 30 years of experience, the company serves as a full-service technology partner specializing in computer and technology services for the golf and hospitality industries. In this episode of the Wednesday Match Play podcast, powered by Heritage Creations USA, Safa shares an overview of Delarman, the story behind a painting hanging behind him, his team, growth plans, and the company's partnership with the Golden State chapter of CMAA. He also discusses the biggest technology challenges facing clubs today, his experiences appearing on other podcasts, and the evolving role of AI tools and trends within the club industry. The conversation explores cybersecurity and the critical issues clubs need to consider in today's digital landscape. This was a technological conversation, and it was an honor to have Safa on the show. Let's tee off. All right, well, I am super pumped for this conversation for a lot of reasons. I've had the chance to spend a little bit of time with this guy. We're getting to know each other and just really enjoy our time together. But we got a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's get started. But Safa, welcome to the Wednesday Match Play podcast, powered by Heritage Creations USA.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate the opportunity. It's always a joyful talking to you in person, on the air, either way. At the end of the conversation, I'm always pumped up and more excited for the next one. So let's talk.
Well, yes, sir. So you and I met it seems like just a few months ago, and I've seen you in my office. I've seen you at Hideaway Golf Club for the Golden State Chapter Spring Conference, and just always enjoy our time together. But I'm so impressed by you and all that you're doing. So just to get started, give me an overview of you, your company, what you do, and just the different services that you provide.
Sure, I'll give you the short version because too many years are in my backpack right now. Been doing this business for about 30 plus years. About 20 plus of it has been in hospitality strictly. I love this business. I got into it because I was involved with a home builder who opened up a division in hospitality, built hotels like the St. Regis and Hilton types and see whatever. And as a tech guy, I sat down and I learned about hospitality, and I found that to be joyful because then I really realized that everything we do is about that. It's about the person, making them feel good and giving them something to remember. So to me, this was the best thing that can happen. And again, I shifted my learning education into this hospitality and what can we do to deliver the same results. Delarman. First of all, I named this company after my children, Delara and Armand. I love them. They gave me a reason to go to work every day and work harder. And I'm blessed that I have my son today is carrying this business and expanding it and going to the next chapter. What we do best, our business is focused on being your technology solution provider. And what that does mean is, as you know, to me, a golf club is kind of a combine of 5 different, at least, businesses combined. And they each operate differently, yet they have to work together. And again, it's all about to be able to deliver a result for the member. So what we do is we manage and support everything in every one of those departments, whether it's on the accounting side, whether it's on the member side, whether it's on the event side, or the golf, or the food and beverage. We make sure everything in that infrastructure is running properly. It's got the proper equipment that matches to the business model, as well as making sure that what can we do to partner together and deliver a technology that engages the members more, and therefore it helps to increase the revenue of the club, because this is where technology is. So on one side is we do operation. It could be, their computers, their cybersecurity, their internet, their phone system, their gate system, security system, camera system, audio system, I don't know, everything that is wiring, Wi-Fi, guest Wi-Fi, events. The club has so many functions, and we manages all of them. I have different department, different teams that can handle these challenges on a daily basis. But on my personal side, that I truly enjoy is the growth, the bringing technology and uniting that for the member experience. This too, so we get the front and the back of the business, and we're engaged on both sides.
So you do a lot of stuff, is what you're telling me. You stay busy. My goodness, like that is a
Every
long
day
list.
there's something.
Well, I gotta say, so nobody can see this at home, but I did get the opportunity to also have a conversation with you on the Boardroom Magazine podcast, and that's a video podcast, and you had a picture hanging behind you, and you told me that story, and I was really, really awed by that. So, would you mind telling me that story again so that the listeners at home can hear about that painting that's behind you?
Yes, sir. This painting, it's from my great grandmother. And this painting has traveled to, all over the continent. I can think of 5 countries. And this picture reminds me of who we are, where we come from, and the challenges that we've gone through, which at the end for me is being grateful of where we have. And the last place this frame was at my mother's house. And my mother was in charge of an orphanage house back in Iran, 300 orphan girls. She ran a very tight ship, and she was a wonderful support to make sure these girls have a future, lives, careers, marriages, etc. And when the revolution happened, they ransacked her house, and shot guns, shoot everywhere, and there's actually a bullet hole on this frame. And I did not repair that, because every time I see it, I remember the hardship that we went through just to, survive the situation. Being able to be here and today where I'm sitting at is a result of the just everything that we've gone through. And this is makes me more humble and grateful. So there's a huge story sitting in there that it really motivates me.
Well, thank you for sharing that, and that to have been able to see that and to hear that story from you here today is it's pretty special. So thanks for sharing that with me.
Welcome, sir.
So where are you based, and are you primarily just serving clients here on the West Coast and in California, or are you expanding beyond the Golden State?
Well, as the answer is, we're in Laguna Niguel, California, Orange County. That's the headquarters. However, literally every day I'm in a different part of the Southern California due to our clients being all over the place. So I call there, I tell people I have multiple offices, and they all have a great view, by the way. So that's our primary, but our clientels are, well, it started from Southern California, and I'm really, yes, I do like to expand more in Southern California. I mean, there's a lot of golf courses. I think start from home and work your way up. We do focus also into other states. We were talking about an office in Nevada and one in Arizona, but I have also been in contact with a golf course in Minneapolis, so we are working on having a tech out there as well to be able to provide them support. So while we are focusing in California, and opportunities comes, we will gladly take it on, and we love to expand as we grow one by one. I say one client at a time. Take care of them, set them up, make sure they're good. That to me is more important. So, we're growing and we've done good so far, at least.
Well, you're working with golf clubs, but you're also working with hotels and yacht clubs and other hospitality organizations. Can you share a couple of your clients and what are some of the differences that you see between, let's say, supporting a hotel versus a private club?
And first of all, I gotta tell you something. I mentioned that yesterday to a GM. I said, of all the clubs that I have worked with, I have never seen, even though like a golf club, they mean on a high level, they're all golf courses, but they each operate differently. It is so amazing. Same thing with yacht clubs and hotels. Uh, some of the clubs, like for example, that we support, one of I can name, like for example, Sherwood Country Club. Jeff, I love that club. Every time I go there, it's a beautiful place in Westlake. You know, it's really a high-end place to go and see the beauty and how they really are making a difference for their high-end members. Another golf course that I really like to is like for example Virginia Country Club. They're I think they were in 1909, and again a very beautiful club. Jamie, beautiful organization. Once again, we support them, and they like us, and we like them, and it's been a happy environment. Oakmont Country Club, again, that's one of the clubs that I enjoy visiting. Red Hill. These are on a sort of a, then I go down Mission Viejo Country Club. That was actually my first country club that I started sporting many, many, many years ago. Uh, what else? Dove Canyon, in your neck area, Bermuda Dunes. Down south, we have Palma Valley, Palma Golf Course, Steel Canyon. I mean, they're just scattered all over the place. So we have large ones and the smaller ones, corporate level or member. Um, we built that personal relationship. That's to me is the most important. It's not a number game. It's about the relationship that I'm building. In terms of hotels, we focus on the hotels that are, obviously they're all, they're part of the chain. So we manage on their internal operation, and that's our focus mainly because they have to obey the Marriott's, how they say they need to do, etc. Since we know what they want or what they need, we just make sure on the internal side all the operation is running properly. And again, this is more of a continuous management. But on the golf side and yacht clubs, I forgot to mention Balboa Yacht Club, one of my favorite. I mean, I just love to go stand over there and look at these beautiful boats and say, "Now this is life," and these are clubs that their level of operation is incredibly. They're so engaged with their members. They've done a lot of differences, and I think this is where we can make a difference.
Well, how large is your team today? You're talking about growth plans. I mean, how many people are supporting you in all of these different facilities that you're working with?
Right now I have a team of 15, and each of them, it's interesting. I have a wiring team that their focus is only go to one place to another to just do wireless. I have a team that focuses on the server level issues and all that. I have a team that does the help desks on a daily questions, issues, and all that. And then I have a team of rest of us who we go around and we're on site and we just kind of, you know, make sure not only the business is there, but we communicate with the clubs and yeah, once again, to me is to sit with them, talk to them, see what's going on, and hopefully for them to recognize that we're not an IT company. This is the hardest part that I have to explain to people. We're not, if somebody says you're an IT company, I said, not really. IT is just a portion of what we do. We are a technology solution company. And that's why I have to explain and sort of create that understanding that we are a partnership with them. We're not a company that just takes care of your stuff and that's it. No, we're engaged with people. We talk to them. We want to see where they're going. We want to be in their meetings. We want to sit with their board. We want to learn about their mentality. What's interest to them? Because as I said, every club is different. I know I expanded a little too much into this, but this is how we operate.
Well, you just recently became a valued partner of the Golden State chapter of CMAA, and I'm very excited for that. I sit on the board of directors for the Golden State chapter and always enjoy meeting new partners. How did that relationship begin, and why is supporting the club industry so important to you?
Honestly, I love it. It's nothing complicated. I love it. I mean, you compare that to go to a company, an office, and it's just a bunch of people working behind a desk, and you go in the room versus you go out in a club, beautiful place, beautiful environment, everybody's working, beautiful ambience. You get things done, you chat, you do business, and you move on. For me, I take that in a heartbeat. So, and I enjoy hospitality. So, being a member to me has been honestly a dream. When it happened, when I had the opportunity to join, and believe me, I've been sitting and waiting for years now, trying to get in there because, of course, there are other companies in there. Just the fact that I was able to join to me was the greatest joy because now I have a chance to really reach out and share our story because we need to tell a story. We want the clubs to expand their vision into the tech and really start learning and using it to their benefit. And this is where we come to the picture. So that chapter is the best place to be at. And again, I'm honored and I'm blessed to be in that there. And excited for growth. And I'm right now trying to learn about it. I call myself the new kid in the block, so I'm learning.
Are we going to see you in Monterey for the fall conference, or are you going to be in town for that?
I'm looking forward for every one of them.
It's awesome. Well, what is it that sets you apart from other managed IT providers that are serving private clubs? I mean, there is some competition out there. So what is it that sets you apart?
Well, number one is, as I mentioned, we're not an IT company. So we look at, we it encompass your entire operation, but that is a must do. I think any company who is not doing this, they're off balance because if a club has to spread their need between multiple company, it creates a chaos because this is not their business. A club needs to focus on their club business and the members and what they can do, to their operation. The tech part is something you need to have a partner with you who cares about your business, who thinks of themselves as a part of your business, as an employee, somebody who is there with you on daily basis. So what we do is we spend time, we sit with them, we go to them. It's impossible that at least twice a month minimum I go visit every single client myself even. I have to. This is how we live by. I like to sit with the GMs. I like to know what's going on. I always ask them when you're doing your budget, please share the tech part of it with us. Let us give you our suggestions because we know the depth of what's going on, what you have. We also see other clubs, so we can bring some cool ideas if I see. I love sharing ideas. I think that's the best. If I can give you something that helps your members to have a more wow factor, so be it. Good, more power to you. I think your success is my success. So why wouldn't I do it? So we are heavily into this uh, partnership relationship, kind of an old school, like I call it, that I want to be engaged. I want, this is this, by the way, I ask this of my son, who is the VP of the op. I ask this of my techs who do go on site. I tell my it's a rule that even my help desk needs to be engaged with the person. You're not just solving the problem, because this is what is different in our business. If you really think about it, we're not in a tech business. We're in people business. And that's what we need to focus on. The tech part will fix it. It's done. No problem. But it's the people that we need to focus on. That's what differs us.
What are the biggest technology challenges that clubs and some of your other clients are facing today? Is there anything that stands out?
Communication. I think that's probably the most difficult part. I see a lot in the clubs, even in between their own departments. There's a lack of communication. I see it's just communication. Everybody is running on their own, and I think this is a challenging situation because the if they don't connect, if they don't create a harmony, including the tech department, they're not going to be successful. I see that a lot. And by the way, I must say this, and I'm a firm believer of that. Change starts from the top. It's the top that creates that culture.
You offer a very broad portfolio of services. Is there any one solution that maybe has the greatest impact for golf clubs specifically, and why?
Oh my God, that's a loaded question. First of all, uh, to me, everything we do is about member and the member experience. So I think as long as the focus of everything that we do is geared toward that, we are on the right path. So whether we implement a technology, whether it's the Wi-Fi's or the communication of the apps, etc., that's one. On the back end side, though, to me, a club mm, needs to have a harmony of certain mandatory functions that we require of them to have. And that are, there needs to be an infrastructure that is properly set up. There needs to have a backup that it's a urgently needed, but a backup, I say 90% of clubs don't have the backup. They think they have a backup because they were told they have a backup. They, the backup that I am talking about, that includes, if you can tell me that if anything happens, let's just say your server dies tomorrow, and I can bring you back up in 20 minutes. If you can give me that solution, you have a backup. That's disaster. That's, really covering the A to Z of a backup, because a backup has multiple elements. And again, the cybersecurity, this is a must do. So these are the rules of the business that needs to happen. And neither one of them is less important than the other one, in my opinion.
Cybersecurity is one of your core specialties and so important, and I almost think that it's a matter of when, not a matter of if. How do you help clubs strengthen security without creating friction for members and staff?
Uh, I have to share you a club. There is a club, no names mentioned, that their password is what is it? Password one or something like that. I have been fighting, and it took a long time trying to make him understand that, trust me, you will be hacked. I don't, no matter what I put in this place, you're gonna get hacked. So uh, it is a mandatory to have cybersecurity. But what is cybersecurity? What are the actual element, the pillars of the cybersecurity is a, on the tech side, you need to scan the system from the outside for vulnerability. It's okay. I don't mind to test our own setup and find out if we have some vulnerability. That's a good thing. On the internal side, two-factor authentication a must-have. Not sharing password a must-have. The controlling the online access to each person and forcing the members not to share those passwords. Uh, Another one is cybersecurity training. Oh my God, I can't stress enough of that. We send emails that these are short videos for training, and these are real stories and things that happens. And at the end, we ask for questions. People answer that, great. But we also send phishing emails because we want to know who is really not paying attention. Who's, I call them click happy. Click happy are the people who they just clicked it when it came up. They didn't really read it. Or when they saw an email, they just said, oh, sure. Can you just look at it for a second, see if it makes it. So one of the things we require we really do, we beg the management is to in their meetings bring this up, go over the report, call the person that keeps failing on these things, and literally put them up sometimes on the spot and say, I really need you to be more attentive. This is not about punishment. This is about education. This is about awareness. So you combine these two sides from the technology doing its job and people doing their job, we now have a chance. Otherwise, it's, as you said, you're going to be attacked. I just know it's going to happen. That's why where the backup comes in, but it's a sitting duck. It's going to happen no matter what I do. One click is all it takes.
More clubs are moving to cloud-based platforms, and we use that here at my club. What are some benefits that your clients typically experience after making that transition?
Uh, I the cloud environment allows accessibility and movability for your products. On the IT side per se, it takes obviously the stress of having an equipment in there, managing in there. Uh, on the management side, there's a cost of buying the products, but again, you pay that for that service. But it's a constant attention where it kind of when you have it in the cloud, it eliminates that need. But on the cloud side, it also now becomes more crucial for you again not to share your password, have those the two factors in place, and to me, if the cloud is implemented properly, and I say that in a very serious way because if, for example, accounting is saving their files on the cloud, but the cloud is not configured properly, and that information is accessible, now you're jeopardizing the club's financial situation, or maybe the HR. These are really areas that needs to be really focused on. So the cloud is good if it's implemented properly. And it would be the same if you had a server here, but now once it's there, it's there. And we on the IT side, we make sure that the cloud is being backed up and protected in case of, failures, disasters. And of course, we need to make sure that we have those informations accessible if the cloud goes out. One of the things that's probably the most important part is you're heavily relying on your internet, which is now more crucial than ever, not only to have the proper infrastructure that can carry the load, but also have a failover internet. It surprises me that a lot of clubs still don't have it, and I don't know why, but again, it's interesting. And now last part of my conversation is still, again, certain club management products who are still in a transition to bring the product into a cloud structure, are still better off to be local only because of latency that it can cause for printing or clicking on something. So we really need to sit down and look at it and figure it out. Personally, love the cloud, make my job a lot easier, but it needs to be really thought of.
You talked about backup and disaster recovery and what happens maybe if you get attacked, but that's obviously all central to your approach. Can you share maybe a real world example where that prep helped a client avoid a major disruption?
So this was a fun one slash stressful. Um, the day before, this was the day before Christmas. I actually was on the server at one of my clients. It had done a Windows update. It was late night, so nobody was using it, and it required a reboot. So I rebooted it. Guess what? The server didn't come up. And now I spent, I don't know how many hours, tried different approaches, call Microsoft for support, whatever it takes. That server was dead. That update crashed the operating system. Now, they are heavily relying on that server because without it, phone systems are not working, internet is acting up, the club software is down, everything is down basically. They're dead in the water. And that was really a stressful situation, sweating like crazy. However, as I said, this is where the backup shined itself because the backup that we implement, and we really are mandatory on that, on this setup, is it does a local backup, it does an encrypted cloud backup, and it does a snapshot. And this happens like throughout the week. I generally, when I get a report, it happens about 70 to 80 times a week. So we're constantly doing this. So there's like 80 snapshot that is happening throughout the week. So because of that scenario, what we had, luckily, I spun up the DR situation, the server. This is a server that comes online. We connect to it, and the club was back in the business, and they didn't even know what happened the entire Christmas time. So all their events, everything went fine. Even though I was using the DR server, but they ran fine while I fixed the other server, got the parts, get them going, and then in January I just switched it over. So that is a lifesaver, if you ask me.
What is it that makes working with golf clubs and hospitality organizations, what makes that different from maybe other clients in other industries?
Uh, for me, it's for personally, this is what I enjoy. I enjoy people. For Delarman, we chose this because we like to work with people. Usually on the businesses that you go to, there's a situation, you go fix it, you walk out. It's very cut and dry. You meet with the management, you talk about certain things, it's done, it's over. In the club business, you are really talking to everybody. You're talking to the staff, you're talking to people, you're talking to members. You are really enjoying this interaction. So that to me is such a joyful environment that I love doing this. And probably to me, this is the most important reason that I chose this. And I I get a kick out of when somebody says, "Wow, that oh my God, this is awesome," or "Yay, this is cool." This to me, this is like, yes, I did my job right. And this is how everybody in my team works. We're always searching for that wow factor. So that's where the hospitality is the best for this.
Well, you are known for responsive customer service. You outlined that a little bit ago about how you have people dedicated to that. Could you maybe share a story of where your team turned maybe a difficult situation into a long-term client success?
Um, Let me think for a second about this. We had a client reached out to us due to a ransomware situation they had, and they've lost a lot of stuff. But they were very scared and they wanted to make sure that they're okay. So first, they hired our services to go and, survey this environment and see what's going on and all that. And we were on site very fast. We did a very thorough scan of the entire infrastructure from fire level to the networking to the firewall to their antivirus, their all the products that they were using. And we were able to give him a comprehensive report. And believe it or not, there were still some ransomware files, affected files in the system as we scanned it, which surprisingly, the previous company didn't find them. And they told them they don't have any. So it was just a matter of time when this thing would have hit them hard. So again, we give them that report. They liked what we did. They retained our services, and eventually they brought us full time. And we've been supporting that club. Love working with them because as we build the trust, and to me, trust is a very big factor in our field. If a client doesn't trust you, that your business is going to fail. So I need to build that trust relationship for them to know that I'm on their side and I'll do anything in my power, no matter what resource I go through, to make sure they get taken care of. And they need to know that, they need to feel that, they need to be comfortable with that. And that comes with it. And that's where the trust shows up. So that's how we were able to save the day and be able to obviously gain a client. And it's been years now that we've been supporting them. It's been 12 years now. So, oh, by the way, interestingly, I do want to say is I'm blessed to say that majority of our clients, exception the new ones, let's just say, except for the new one, all of them are over, I don't know, at least 8 to 10 years. Where I have one that we're close to 19, now 20 years now. I think we're getting into 20 years. I am so blessed. And by the way, clubs go through changes, management, GMs, board, but obviously we've been able to give them the results that they want. So I'm happy to say that has been our success.
Well, this is not your first podcast appearance. What are some of the other shows that you've been featured on, and how have those conversations evolved over time?
And there was not so much of no, the podcast. We did a podcast. This was from Critical Mass Show by Rick, and there was another one that we did called From Zero to Seven Figures, and it says how this father and son duo built the tech empire. And these podcasts was a chance for us to share our story of where we come from, who we are, how do we create this culture in our company, what are we looking at, where are we going, and be able to share our story and hopefully give enough reasons, both on the technology side and the personal side, that clubs value this and engage with us, and hopefully we can do something good, because ultimately it's about doing something right for the clubs. uh, by the way, these are all on my website. I really love that website because there is a little 4-minute introduction that was the first the little video we took with my son and I, and that to me is probably one of the pillars that survives in our business. Everybody who goes to our website says, we know you do tech and you work with your son. So I think that's a, a good beginning by itself.
You've worked in technology, as you said, for more than 30 years, which is just so impressive. And you've obviously seen a lot of changes I mean, even AI has just been such a newsmaker, which it shouldn't be because we've been using AI for a long time, but it's just a buzzword right now. But what are some of the biggest changes that you've seen in how private clubs think about technology and IT?
A, a club, to me, you know, it's the management and their response to the demand is how it's creating the success of the club, in my opinion. And these need to be in line with each other. And that's where the tech comes in and supports the results. So, as the clubs are understanding that, for example, back in the days, a golf course was just a golf course, and then maybe they had a tennis. Now, because of the different generations and the demands, they need to have an additional services to make the member feel good about the money that they're spending, the club that they're a part of. So again, having, for example, I see a lot of, they have like a gym, exercise areas. They improve their pool area tremendously because families now, their wives and the kids for summer or whatever, they like to go hang out. Of course, they have now pickleball, who is really a big factor these days. I see literally all the clubs have, taken some of their tennis and converted it to, I saw one that they added a basketball court. Some have saunas, some create. I mean, some of them offer, food for you to take home. So, I mean, there are so many different things because members are wanting to be. They want to utilize the club that they're a part of a lot more, and that needs to be sort of part of their lives now. Whether it's for fun, for their me time, which go play golf, or for their family, or for their dining, or for their wedding, or for their party, or whatever. All these things that we lived in, we want to engage that club with. So the club needs to be able to, give them these support. And what we bring in technology into it is an additional enjoyment enhancement to engage the member. Speaking of AI, exercise machine that with these big TVs that now you can go in there. It says, "Oh, this is my weight, whatever. This is what I'm going to get. This is what I want to do," and the machine really walks with you with the AI and talks to you and gives you suggestions and ideas. People like it. They like to go and use it. So the clubs are having it now. I mean, the members don't want to pay one for the club membership somewhere else for their exercise and pay another membership. They rather see it all in their own clubs. So clubs are changing tremendously. And the clubs who are doing it are seeing the results. And the ones who are still being resistance are still, you know, they got to do what they got to do.
You've mentioned a couple of times about how putting people first is a priority for you, and I love that. And working in clubs, it is. I mean, yeah, we're a dues business. Well, guess what? The people that pay those dues are the people that I'm focused on. And even one more thing that you said, talking about staffing, I focus on the staff first because if the staff are happy, they're going to be happy when taking care of the members, and then the reverse happens. If the staff's unhappy, they'll be unhappy taking care of those dues paying members. So it is really a cyclical process from an operator's perspective, but I digress on that. So, how have you created a company culture that really keeps the customer service at the center of everything you do?
Customer comes first. Customer is always right. We are here for the customer. I tell you what, I always say the story. We are the lowest of low when they first call you. And dude, if you can make it at the end, they said, "You're my hero," you've done your job. So we go high and low very fast every day, multiple times a day. But guess what? That's what we're here for. That's what we do best. That's what we're supposed to do. We Of course, we utilize the technology to make our processes a lot easier and much more informative, much more interactive. And which, by the way, this is where our technology, are the type of products and the equipment that we rely on to give us the level of support and services comes to the picture. Um, we are very strong into certain type of brand product for the networking infrastructure, certain brand for the servers, certain brands for the internet. For example, I got to tell you, for example, I say this as a simple example. We always encourage, we always force, sometimes we have to force, but we encourage the clubs to have a failover internet. Well, here's an interesting part. Like, for example, a club has a fiber internet with coax cable, and then they have a little coax as a failover with coax cable. Oh, great. You got one account, you pay one bill. But guess what? This is useless because they are all feeding off of a node down the street. So if that node goes down, guess what? Your both lines are dead. So we make sure that the failover is a different carrier, different setup. These are the stuff that we use, we know, we practice, we learn. So combination of all of these things is that how it allows us to deliver that solution, the result, the response, proactiveness. We get alarms 24/7 of anything that gets wrong, or whether it's usage. I've had a case where I notified the general manager that you have an employee that for the past 3 hours is sitting in a break room watching a movie. What kind of a break is that? And it's not my job to tell them what to do or what not to. I'm just passing information. But that's how we are. We are proactive. We are not waiting for a call to come in. We are always engaged. We're always there. We're looking at it. We're making suggestions. We talk to them, but it's this kind of a package that we put together using the products, the technologies, the AIs. The AI helps us to predict the scenarios that we know is going to happen, but we'll predict different scenarios to create a solution for it to protect the clients, or to help them to get a better connection to the client and to the members. I mean, this is this is not just tech. This is not just fixing a computer. This is a whole department on its own that its job is to be one of the pillars of your business. So it's very serious.
We talked about AI a little bit ago, and again, it's taking over. I use it all day, every day, and I would even argue it takes me longer to use AI how I use it than it did prior to using it, but my result is better. But what are some tools, maybe one tool that every club should embrace? And is it Claude? Is it ChatGPT? Like, what is one tool that you would recommend that every club use? And are there any trends that you would maybe think we should be cautious about?
Uh, First off, one of the reasons that a lot of people don't use technology is because it's because they don't know it, and they're kind of afraid of it. And it's true, you should be concerned about it, but you shouldn't be afraid of it. AI is just another administrator, a support to you who has a lot more hands and they can go multiple places and can gather a lot more information and is a lot faster, and it can give you answers or results based on the data that it gathers, much more efficient, much more detailed. That's all there is to it for the AI. So it's your friend, it's your support, it's your administrator. It's the guy who's going to help you to make a better decision. It's not the ultimate decision maker. You're the one. So that's why I always say trust and verify. Check it out, collect the data, and use it. Now, today, because the AI is literally, there's so many versions, so many varieties of it. I'd be looking at the I like cloud. I like cloud personally myself. It gives me a better answers on my techie side, so I really enjoy using cloud myself. Uh, but there are actually products, AI products that you can install on your system that goes and collects data from whether your accounting side or your member side, and kind of it delivers you and then from the outside. Give you an example. I say, F&B can really benefit from the AI, because if they can implement the kind of a product that says, okay, your trend has been your members, this is the number of the members, you're like on Mondays are coming, this is the foods they really enjoy, this one, you sold less, this one you sold more, and it gives you a better understanding of every day and every night and every, your food and beverage operation. Now you can set the staff in a more efficient way, because that's a cost. You can adjust your purchasing more efficiently. Again, that's another cost adjustment you can do. And more importantly, you can now maybe cater to, if you know that this member is always coming on Mondays for dinner to my place, then now you can actually give them a little feedback and saying, by the way, Mr. X, Y, and Z, Monday night we have your favorite food. So that entices them, excites them to come and eat. So again, you're really going from a different angle, using the AI as the data collection to be able to communicate back and be able to be not only on an operational to save money or be more productive. And also on the member side is to be able to keep them more engaged. So listen, it's a win-win. By the way, let's talk about, I mean, tennis. Not tennis too. I mean, listen, tennis. A lot of clubs are like, okay, well, we just have tennis. Well, not really. Tennis is actually a really old game that it's really fun. I like tennis. My father played tennis. I thought it's a fun game to do, and I sure like to have some AIs to help me out about how to, holding the ball. I just recently saw a friend of mine bought a AI-driven box that you put on the other side of the court. But what's different about this box, it has a camera and an AI and wheels, so it moves as you kick back the ball. It goes and tries to capture the ball, just like another player who is kicking you back, and then it kicks another ball back to you. So now you're literally are playing with this person, and you can set different criteria of how I want it. And again, it uses your play, and then it gives you a report at the end of how you're playing. So I think that's a cool idea. The same thing in a golf. I mean, it is such a cool idea to be able to look at my app and a product that it is AI, that is collecting data and is telling you based on the condition, based on the course, based on the angle, this is how you need to, which club to use, etc. Because I mean, listen, not all of us are professionals, and we sure can use some extra help suggestions. So many different ways you can enhance the experience and really make it joyful. And that's where really what AI is. That's how I look at it.
Well, looking ahead, what are maybe some technology trends, AI maybe aside, that you believe will have the biggest impact on your operation and your clients maybe over the next 3 to 5 years?
And let's see. Products that does analysis, I like them. Trackman helps you to learn and learn how to swing it, how to kick it entice you to be better. I saw one a simulator types. I think there was one place, one club I went to, and they actually had set up a moving ground that actually, you can go and stand on it, and as you hit the ground, will also move around with you, which was like, this is hard, but maybe some people are really professional about it and they need it. So. Uh, I don't know every single angle you needed. I don't even know where to begin. I just think that every product that you buy today needs to have something driven into it that gives you a better analysis and support for you to be able to be better at your. But that it needs to have access. So as long as it has the proper access and it's good. It is so fast changing that every day I see so many products. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. I I uh I I I'm just always searching. So I can't be very specific, but use it. That's all I'm going to suggest to you. But again, trust and verify.
If you sat down with a club operator today, what are maybe three questions, maybe technology questions that you would encourage them to ask about their operation? Whether they're looking to bring you on board, looking to make some changes, just what are three questions that you would encourage GMs to start asking?
Well, the first question asking is how's everything going? Are your equipment, are you having issues daily? What's the status of your club? The second question that I ask is always is what are the members are asking? What are they looking for? What are we doing for the members? And last but not the least, are the management in line? What are your interests for your club? Are you interested for your club to be technologically advanced, maybe forefront of the other clubs? Are you interested to just do day-to-day stuff and you don't want the rest? What is your vision? And of course, the board. And these are the three areas that I would focus on: operation, members, and the management.
Well, as a fellow blogger, I'm pretty excited to see that you have a blog on your website, and obviously it's encouraging clubs to move beyond these one size fits all solutions. What are the biggest technology investment mistakes that you see clubs making? Is there anything that just stands out that other clubs are they're continuously are doing?
And let me think for a second because um, it's not about the technology mistake. It's about their decision-making mistake and the not engaging us. This is probably so that, for example, a club decides to, let's just say, remodel their pool. Well, this is the perfect opportune time to install the proper devices, whether it's the Wi-Fi or the music audio system, or the TVs, or maybe even speakers, etc. This is the time, and I've had numerous cases where they just did it, and then they told us, "Oh, by the way, this company is putting this on there. Can you just give them some IPs?" And I'm like, then you basically defeated my entire function in here. So this is those mistakes. Those are mistakes that are very common. They break it down to different, and then the worst thing you can do is break down this technology into different organizations, and now you have a chaos because there is nobody that can handle and manage except the one company who is really your partner, who has access and knows the detail of your place. They can really support you into making the right decision. So the lack of communication, again, it falls back into that. Those are the biggest mistake I see every day.
We have covered so much. I feel like we just started talking. We've been rapping for about an hour here, but this has been awesome. But what else? I mean, I know you have a lot going on. You service a lot of clients. You offer a lot of different solutions. But before we wrap up, is there anything else that we haven't discussed that you'd like to share with me and our listeners?
Uh, First off, uh, think of technology, uh, give it a little bit more love and respect. It is really helping your organization. Think about it. Without these equipments, you're dead in the water. So let's give it some value now. And I mean, in the terms of respect, I remember I walked into a club that it's a beautiful club, but they stored their server in their room full of dust. With they stored everything else. Give it a little bit love and respect. That equipment is working for you. It's helping you to make money. Put it in the proper place. Please allow us to be a partner with you. Please let us talk to us, include us into your everything you do. But embrace the change. Change is a good thing. We're going through times where, if you've noticed in the entire world, technology has become a major pillar of everything we do. It's embedded in your life. Back in the days, I remember when I used to go to CES, there was computers, companies like AST, ALR, there was boxes, big boxes, etc. Today, you go to CES, you barely see a computer because everything has it already. Everything is involved. I remember I saw a speaker that it was a small, tiny speaker, and it had AI in it. And I said, why? And they said, well, it measures the response of the sound, therefore it knows how to adjust the speakers to which side to play more. So it's already in there, it's already included, it's already helping you. But you need to work with the company who likes this stuff, is interested about it, who's always searching and trying to find something better and more useful that, by the way, is budget friendly. We're not trying to make something incredibly expensive or crazy. It's about keep it simple. We're looking for simple deliverable solution. We're looking at the products that people can use. We're looking at the ideas that members can really use, not to just say you have a product. And this is something that the clubs don't know the difference. This is where we're coming to the picture, where we can show them and have them experience it. When you grab an app in your hand and you click on something, oh, this was easy to use. Oh no, I just glanced it. It's not that hard so again, we can help you. We've experienced with this, we work with this, we like to really enhance your club, and we're good at it. And I can prove it to you by simply ask the other clubs that we work with, ask Russell, ask Jeff, Jamie, all of these people, they work with us forever. They can vouch that we can deliver the results for you. I'm happy. I'm grateful to you, Ricky. Thank you so much for your time. This was, again, thank you for the opportunity. I can't begin to tell you how excited I was, by the way, for this conversation and sharing about us. And I'm not trying to be too technical. I'm just trying to talk about simple, answers that we need to look at. And it's important because that's how solutions shows up. The technology part of it, let us take care of that part. This is not your a big deal, in my opinion, at least. Again, thank you so much for that.
Well, where is the best place for those listening at home to learn more about you and Delarman Technologies? Where do we go?
Well, first off, my uh, what do they say? My tagline is "We never power down," and this is true. We never power down. We're always available. Call me on my cell, 949-394-8244. Anytime. Call Armand, 949-283-4402. Our website, always available. And our phone number is in there. It rings in our phone. We're always available. And send us an email, info@delarman.com. Again, info@delarman.com. By the way, Delarman came from Delara and Arman. Arman is my son, Delara is my daughter. That's how it is. So this will always help you to remember about us. This is I like to be personal. Ask us question, asking, please be comfortable about. We do again complimentary surveys, services. We look at it. We value your time. We'll give you honest feedback whether you retain our services or not. So please use us.
Well, I'm gonna always remember your son's name because I'm a big fan of electronic dance music, and one of my favorite DJs is Armin van Buren. Now, it's not spelled the same, but every time I see your son's name or I see the name of your company, I'm thinking of Armin van Buren. So you got me locked in there.
Good man, thank you.
Well, let's you and me tee it up soon. Are you a golfer, and where are we going? Where do you want to play?
Well, okay. So here's, by the way, I sure like to ask the clubs to. First of all, I have never had an opportunity to play at any of my clients' courses because I'm always afraid that some member says, "Why is my IT guy playing golf here? He's supposed to be working." And I don't want to create problems. So that's unfortunately. So is there a way we can do it? Number one, I sure love to, do that. I honestly, right now, because I am very novice at golf, and I learned that I don't know anything. I am right now focused more onto just practicing and practicing. So anywhere I get a chance, anyone who says, Safa, you want to go? I'm on. Let's do it. So locally, one day maybe I get to play at some of our high-end golf courses. I don't know. We'll see. You wanna give me some time to come and play at your course? I'm in, you
Let's
know.
let's go. You're always invited to come play over here in the Coachella Valley. You just let me know when you're here and where you want to go, and we'll tee it up.
All right, man. Thank you so much again. Honestly, I love it. It's such a relaxing time. Oh, I gotta share something interesting with you. As I am, unfortunately created this culture of a father and son. The next chapter I'm working on is my grandson. I have one grandson. I love him very much, and I'm taking him to the golf courses. And he's 6 years old. He loves being at the golf courses. He loves to go to people. He loves to grab the little, he just loves to grab the ball and throw it and have fun. And I'm thinking, okay, here you go. Maybe I can work on the next chapter as I'm doing business.
Leaders are readers, and there's no doubt you are a leader in this space. What book are you currently reading?
Oh, that because my father was a doctor, professor, neurologist. He was a teacher, but not a businessman. I learned business on my own with all the wins and the losses that I've had through my life. So I think the leadership is the one of the most important part of the success of any organization. So right now, for example, one of the book that I'm reading is The Entrepreneur's Journey. It's about how to make your business work by looking at it from different angles, because I'm learning that uh, the leadership is not about delegating or telling people what to do. Leadership is about hearing from other people, empowering your employees, as you said, give them an environment that they really joyfully like to be at it, and let them make decisions, support them into their decisions, help them to grow, help them to achieve better levels, and uh, again, that excitement. I think the analogy I always think about is when you wake up in the morning with the thoughts of, oh my God, I gotta go to work, with the negative, or are you saying, oh my God, I better go because I got so much to do and I'm excited. So what do we do to that? How do we do this? So there's another book I was reading a while back about the unexpected CEO. It's about a journey that this gal started from really nothing and learn how to become a CEO. And again, goes back to the leadership. Uh, this is very important, people. I mean, this is something that it's a process.
Who is in your dream foursome? And that's anybody, alive or dead. And where are you playing? And that's anywhere in the world.
Okay. For some, yeah, okay, Tiger Woods always pops to my hand. Oh my God, I've every time I read about the Arnold Palmer, I mean, this to me, that's like, wow, what a story. But I thought maybe Roy, Scotty, or maybe my dad, and we just go play. Let's just say, I always see like at the Pebble Beach. Some are different. Some are out of ordinary. Just have fun. That would be an interesting day.
Well, speaking of Tiger, you may not know this. I am Tiger's biggest fan. I look around my office literally right now. He's on everything. I've got a huge collection of Tiger Woods memorabilia, and to this day, I'm still an active collector. If his face is on it, I want it. So he's tied currently with Sam Snead, 82 official PGA Tour wins. Do you think he can get one more before he retires?
My answer is I seriously hope so. However, after the car crash and some of the physical and and some of the limitation that he's right now dealing with, I hope that it will happen again and we watch it because his shots are amazing. Amazing. And it's like, how do you do that? I watch them and I'm like, okay, how? So, yes, but with some hope.
Well, what's next for you and Delarman Technologies? What's the immediate future look like for you here as we move forward with 2026 and 2027 is not far behind.
No, 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 it's right around the corner. Short term, first of all, make sure that the current setup and the process is running well. I always like to ask my clients every time I go to a clubhouse. I ask them, "How are we doing?" I ask different people. I get different feedback. So maintain that connection and activity. So again, that's very important. We're right now dealing with some tough times financially, so it's very crucial that we watch the money and make sure we spend properly. But uh, right now, I want to expand. If I can cover this Golden State, this part is a lot. I mean, that to me, that's a major success. So this is right now my first focus. And I believe that middle USA is where we can shine our services. I don't know, I didn't mention to you when I landed to United States, I went to South Dakota, Brookings, a small town, 18,000 population. My brother was there, so I joined him and I learned so much by the hospitality and the love and the caring that I received that my entire life changed, my entire perspective changed. And I believe that that middle is where I can give back some of my love of this golfing. So I'm looking forward for courses out in that area to engage our services. I believe that if they allow us to implement the type of a technology that we do use everywhere, we can give them support. And I already have some techs in those areas who are available for cases of need. We had one in Minneapolis, a call recently, as I said. So again, but right now, let's just this golden state that I became a member. Let me grow up in this first.
Step into the heart of Scotland with Eden Mill Scotland Experiences. Journey through the art of craft distilling, where tradition meets innovation. From blending your own gin to savoring the finest whiskies, every moment is a celebration of Scotland's rich heritage. Whether you're a whiskey enthusiast, a gin lover, or simply an adventurer at heart, Eden Mill offers experiences you'll never forget. Book your journey today and create memories to last a lifetime.
In golf, the 19th hole is a slang term for a bar or a restaurant on or near the golf course. It's very often in the clubhouse itself. There are a lot of good ones out there, but what is your favorite and what are you drinking?
All right, I am a gin guy, but and let me tell you, a nice bourbon sounds amazing. So it depends on my day. If I had a good day or a bad day. If I want to, forget about it, or I just want to celebrate. So it depends on that, the gin or the bourbon, whiskey, some, kind of goes in that, depends on that day. We'll see how it goes. But I sure like to, by the way, again, unfortunately, this is something I've never done at any of our clients because I can't. I sure like to sit down and I've had a case where we sat down with a member and we had food, but sure it'd be nice to sit down and kick back and just have a drink with them. But I don't find it to be really a good idea while I'm, I don't want people to think that I'm working. I have to put a sign on my forehead saying, I'm not on duty, off duty or something, so people don't misunderstand it.
Thank you so much for coming on this podcast. Like, it has just been such a pleasure meeting you and getting to know you and spending time together. And it was awesome that you came to visit me at the Springs, and then I saw you at Hideaway, and now here today. Let's just keep this conversation going and rolling. And you keep up the great work. I'm pumped about your involvement with the Golden State chapter. Stay in touch, and I can't wait to see where you go and where you grow from here, my friend.
Ricky, I appreciate you. I appreciate meeting you. It's a blessing. I never imagined it would be so wonderful. If anything, I'm more excited to not only get to know you. I've learned so much from you. You're a wealth of knowledge, and I love the fact that you're the first person who emailed me saying, "Dude, I love the AI, so tell me what's going on." And I much appreciate that your outreach, and I think that was the beginning of a very long-term relationship. I am really praying, and I've asked the Golden Chapter, to help me out and please guide me, please inform me, and teach me where to go, what to do, what. Again, it's learning about it, knowing how to utilize it, knowing how to outreach, how to be out there, how to meet people. I love for people to go to these events and say hi to them, and then just being engaged in it. This has been the turning points that it's been sort of one of my top priority, and I'm blessed that it's happened, and I appreciate your help, and I appreciate everyone's help, and I'm very grateful. And thanks for you, and yes, we'll do more of this.
That puts this instalment of the Wednesday Match Play podcast in the books. But we'll be back next week for another exciting episode of the show.